1834, 1780, 1683. Breathtaking. Look at that. Today we're here in the town of Barnstable, Massachusetts. We're going to be doing a walkthrough tour of the Lothrop Hill Cemetery, which is one of the oldest cemeteries here on Cape Cod, and definitely one of the most beautiful. Let's have a look. It's such a beautiful night here in Massachusetts on Cape Cod. The birds are chirping. It smells like fresh cut grass. Absolutely quintessential summer evening here. Look at how beautiful some of these stones are. Just the way they're carved and the moss on them. In memory of Mr. Ebenezer Hinckley, who died June 12th, 1780, in the 68th year of his age. Bird's been sitting on top of that one. This monument, erected by Capua Lemuel Bradford in remembrance of Mrs. Hitty Bradford, his amiable wife, who died February 9th, 1809, in the 99th year of her age. Wow. There's an inscription on the bottom. The virtuous are truly happy. Sacred to the memory of Martin Green, dad of Reverend Joseph and Hannah Green. Died in 1791, it looks like. Here's one of the namesakes of the cemetery, the Lothrop Hill Cemetery. Look at the beautiful artwork on there. The skull with the wings. Here lies buried the body of Mr. Kimball Lothrop, who died March 9th, 1734, in the 96th year of his age. Wow. Yeah, as I said before, this is the Lothrop Hill Cemetery, so this is one of the family members who this cemetery is named after. I'll have to start looking around and see how many more of that name I can find and trace it back to its original roots. So this stone is really interesting, the one you see lying on its side here. The name on it is Barnabas Lothrop. Now his father, I believe, is John Lothrop, the man for whom this cemetery is named after. John Lothrop is a man who played a very important role in American history. Born in England in 1584, he was an English clergyman and one of the earliest settlers here in Massachusetts. In 1623, he renounced his orders to the Church of England and joined the Cause of Independence, a group that advocated local control of religious and church matters, rather than adhering to the traditions of the wider geographical hierarchy. The group was forced to meet in private to avoid the scrutiny of the Bishop of London, William Laud. When the king discovered the group in 1632, 42 of Lothrop's men were arrested and prosecuted for failure to take the oath of loyalty to the established church. Records indicate that after the arrests, many were jailed in the Clink prison in London, including Reverend John Lothrop himself. While Lothrop was in prison, his wife Hannah House became ill and died. His 6 surviving children were, according to tradition, left to fend for themselves, begging for bread on the streets of London. Friends, being unable to care for his children, brought them to the bishop, who had them sent to jail as well. After about a year, all were released on bail, except Lothrop, who was deemed too dangerous to be set free. Lothrop was later told that he would be pardoned upon acceptance of the terms to leave England permanently. Lothrop accepted the terms of the offer and left for Plymouth, Massachusetts. With his family and as many of his church members as he could take, he sailed on the ship Griffin and arrived in Boston on September 18, 1634. John Lothrop lived a very storied life. However, his most notable mark, perhaps, was that he was a strong proponent of the idea of separation of church and state. This idea was considered heretical in England during this time, but eventually became the mainstream view of the people in the United States of America because of the efforts of John Lothrop and others. Interesting that this stone is just lying on its side, especially being the name Barnabas Lothrop. I'm not 100% certain that this is John Lothrop's son, but he's definitely one of his relatives, and this is probably one of the most important stones in the entire cemetery. This is really cool down here. It's one of these tombs. Now, from what I understand, these were used in the wintertime when the ground was too frozen to bury the bodies. They would store them in here. If you watched one of my more recent videos of the cemetery in Mystic, Connecticut, there was one of these where the door had been taken off so I could actually go in there. If you've never seen inside one of these, take a look at that video. It's pretty crazy. Man, the stories this place holds, huh? Unbelievable. Sacred to the memory of Captain Solomon Smith, who was born right here in Barnstable, July 12th, 1811, and was lost in the ship Sachem while going as a passenger from Provincetown to Boston, April 17th, 1859. Age 27 years and 9 months. In memory of Captain Reuben R. Smith, who was lost at sea, March 15th, 1834. From the ship Columbia on her passage from Alexandria to New York, aged 31 years. Here lies the mortal part of Mrs. Susanna Hinckley, daughter of Captain Samuel and Mrs. Keza Hinckley, who departed this life September 26th, 1790, aged 27 years, 5 months, and 23 days. Here's another burial of a captain in memory of Captain Samuel Hawkins. He died August 22nd, 1824, in the 62nd year of his age. Here lieth interred the body of Mrs. Hope Chipman, wife of Elder John Chipman, aged 54 years, who changed this life for a beer. Wait, what? Now, I'm not sure if that's actually supposed to say beer or not. I don't think so. I believe it's supposed to be who changed this life for a better. It's probably due to the Old English language. This stone, again, it's from 1683, so. In memory of Benjamin, son of Samuel and Sarah Childs, died March 13th, 1826. Aged 3 years and 8 months. So fades the lovely blooming flower. That's horribly sad. Just a young child, 3 years old. Rest in peace, little guy. In memory of Mr. Freeman Hinckley, who departed this life January 31st, 1808, aged 50 years. Another stone that's been toppled over as well. It's broken off at the bottom here, but you can tell it's been in the ground for a really long time because they just keep weed whacking around it and it gets deeper and deeper every year. This is a depiction of a tree and some seashells. I'm not sure what that's supposed to represent. Susan Caroline. Can't really read much on this stone, but it does say the date, 1801. Must be an original stone for as long as it's been lying there. Sure looks like it anyway. In memory of Joseph Hawkins. It looks like the date is 1774. He passed. Can't see how old he was. Has this moss growing on it, look. To me, that just adds to the beauty, though. This is a beautiful one here. Looks original. Here lieth interred the body of Hannah Huckins, wife of Thomas Huckins. Looks like she passed in November of 1696. Wow. Check this one out coming up ahead here. It's all been covered in these vines. They've just left it to be. I'm surprised no one cleans it out. But there is an inscription on there. Can't read it. 1857 to 1935. It doesn't look very old. Interesting that they let it get so overgrown, but looks kind of cool though. Well, that's going to do it for this video, guys. I hope you've enjoyed. If so, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Once again, thanks for watching.